The Steipler Gaon, he has a sefer called Chayei Olam. Chayei Olam. And in this sefer, in Amud Lamed Vav, Perek Chaf Hei, he says, ואם ישאל השואל, איך אפשר שדברים בטלים ומבוטלים, בדתות ובשטותות, יתקבלו אצל רבבות ומיליונים? He says, if a person that asks question, an inquisitive person, asks, how is it possible that such null and void nonsense gets accepted by so many millions of people? You know, imagine somebody says, that because you don't look a certain way, you should be dead, like the Nazis. Or if they say that if you don't act a certain way, you don't belong in a certain community. Or if you don't dress a certain way, you don't belong in a certain school. Or if you believe in God, but you don't believe in God the same exact way as they do, it cancels you out. So a person that thinks about this nonsense that's out there today can easily connect to what the Steipler is saying. But he's not talking about just things that are, sometimes you could have an argument for them. He's talking about things that are outright ridiculous, null and void, nonsense. Something like somebody saying, God needs you. Anyone tells you God needs you, that's not God. Maybe it's your mother, maybe it's your cousin needs you, maybe it's your sister needs you, maybe you need yourself. God for sure doesn't need you. If He needs you, He's not God. But there are people that teach this, that God needs you. So this is the type of thought process. Or some people teach God is a man that looks just like you and me, but he has long hair. And he looks like a rock star. And he died, but then he's alive. But he died though. And that allows you to make all the sins in the world because he died. Some people believe this. So this is, for anybody that's normal, this is stupid. But a lot of people believe this stuff. So the Steipler asked the question, if a person that's an inquisitive person asks, how could such a thing happen? How could so many people believe such nonsense? How could it be? He says, first you have to know, it doesn't start from nothing. It doesn't just one day the guy decides that he believes in Christianity. One day he wakes up and he believes God needs you. One day he wakes up and he believes in Buddha. It doesn't work that way. It all starts how he's raised. What kind of education he gets when he's a little kid. If he goes to a secular school, he's going to get that type of education. If he goes to a modern school, that's the type of education he's going to get. If he's going to go to a school that is perfect and excels in, let's say, in mathematics, that's the way his mind is going to be. If he's going to go to a school that excels in Torah, that's the way his mind is going to be. So he says it all has to start with the way the chinuch starts when they're little kids. And usually with these fakers, he says, with these mizuyafim v'shkarim, these fakers and lies, מתחילים באיזו אחוז ללמד ילדים דברים כאילו בתור דברים משעשעים ומתאימים לדמיון הילד. They usually start teaching this type of stuff to little kids as if it's fun. This is going to have to stop. I'm sorry. תגיד לו, תביא לי איזה ספר, אני תיקנתי את זה, אבל תביא איזה משהו שזה יפסיק כבר. אני לא יכול לעשות את זה כל השיר. And so he says this all starts where they try to implant the seed on little kids. But how do they do it? They give them little cartoons or little fun things to do. Oh, let's do some show that looks fun. To make the kids use their imagination, to interest them, to get them to listen to the stories, and little by little they implant the story that they want inside these types of shows, inside these little books, inside this type of environment, and before you know it, the kid grows up And that belief in whatever they want him to believe in gets stronger and stronger and stronger, so that by the time he's already 20, 25 years old, to him, to her, this is it. This is the Emunah, this is what they believe. So now you ask people, listen, do you believe in Santa Claus? Now, if the amount of people that make fun of it wouldn't make fun of it, he would tell you yes. Why? Because that's how you grew up. That's how you grew up. But there's a lot of people that believe in Santa Claus. They just call him a different name. Different types of names, different types of fairy tales that they believe in. Why? They grew up this way. They grew up this way. So now, how does this have to do with us? He says that these types of false beliefs are everywhere. Now, when a person gets affected by any type of false belief, what ends up happening is that he realizes that he's not alone. Why? Because he's not the only customer. So what does he do? He starts asking other people questions. No, what did you think of Santa Claus? What did you think of Buddha? What did you think of God needs you? What did you think of all these things? And they start sharing ideas. And little by little they find out that they're not alone. And they little by little start realizing, wow, not only not alone, it looks like we're the majority. So that gives them chizuk. Then one day somebody tells them, by the way, you guys realize that you're all crazy? You believe in an idol, you believe in nothing, you believe in nonsense, you believe in a lie. No, there's no possible. Why? Look how many of us there are. So what happens? Because there's so many that believe the lie, that in itself gives them support to continue believing in it. Never once did they actually question, wait, are we really believing a lie? Or is there this guy just trying to fool with? Like, why? They're not really checking whether what they believe is a lie or not. They're just looking at numbers. Because I have a friend that's sitting next to me, and he believes the same thing. He likes to believe in flying reindeer. He likes to believe in all types of nonsense. Fine, that makes me feel comfortable. Because there's a lot of us, there's all billions of us, that gives them confidence to continue going in that way. Never for a second actually checking and testing what they actually believe in. This is what the Stupefaction Gaon says is the foundation of all lies and how they grow. And they prove their legitimacy because of the mass acceptance of the nonsense. And what ends up happening is they end up learning more and more about this stupidity, stupefy their mind, because these types of beliefs usually lead a person to doing wrong things, either worshiping a person, giving some type of sacrifice, believing all types of things that are heretical, all types of things. And these beliefs, they stupefy the mind and the heart to the point where the people start believing that this is what righteousness is and this is what love is. Meaning that the second somebody comes to them with the actual truth, they're like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what the truth is. God loves everybody. What do you mean? He loves even Hitler that killed millions of people? He loves Osama bin Laden? He loves Saddam Hussein? He loves the people that, he said he doesn't love everybody in his Torah. No, I don't think you're understanding it. Why? Because their mind has become so stupid, like their spiritual mind has become so stupid, that for them to believe something else, they have to literally be almost reincarnated while they're alive.